Hi, this is Sean. Just wanted to drop a quick video on how to do appointment reminder campaigns. So an appointment reminder campaign, of course, is a campaign that you would put in place in order to let people know that they have an upcoming appointment, and also to confirm an appointment. So we can kind of do two in one. So in front of you here is an actual appointment reminder campaign. Let me walk you through it real quick, and I'll show you how to put it together for yourself. So the first step up is a confirmation step. Now, you don't have to have a confirmation step. It's optional. But if you want one, you basically just add whatever you want. So in this case, it's an email. It's really basic. Just says, hey, your appointment's confirmed. And the important thing is you set it to be send immediately. And what that will do is as soon as the appointment is booked, this confirmation will go out. Now, every other step, I have one at negative 48 hours. So 48 hours before, 24 hours before, and 2 hours before. Make sure that whatever you do, you say send before. By default, it's going to be send after. So this is the big trick with appointment reminder campaigns. You need to do send before. So of course, you can see here, it's pretty simple. You can go in, create the various appointment reminder steps. SMS is actually more effective than email. So this just happens to have email, but I recommend SMS. You can, of course, do multiple or both. So again, you can add as many steps here as you want. But again, the big trick is you got to do before. So once you have your appointment reminder campaign configured or set up, we'll go into the campaign configuration. And the one thing you want to do here is make sure that you uncheck stop on response. Because if you remind someone that they have an upcoming appointment and they say, yeah, sounds good, I'll be there, that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to stop sending them the subsequent reminders. So just make sure you have stop on response unchecked. So we've got that done. We have the steps all ready to go. I'm going to publish my campaign. So now how do we get people into an appointment reminder campaign? So there's the preferred method, as it were, and the workaround method. So the preferred method, of course, is if they're using or you're using our inbuilt appointment booking software under scheduling appointments. You might be familiar with this. Or if you're using the booking widget off a website, for example, like this booking widget here. If you're using those, you can just simply go down to triggers, and then you can say, okay, great. When somebody books an appointment in this particular calendar and the status is confirmed, what we're going to do is instead of adding an opportunity, we're just going to simply say, okay, let's go ahead and add them to a campaign, and we're going to add them to the appointment reminder campaign. And that's it. We're done. So now automatically when the appointment gets booked, it flows in, and boom, they're on your appointment reminder campaign. You're good to go. So what happens if you're not using the inbuilt appointment booking software? Well, don't worry. We've got you covered. We have the workaround situation. So the best way to do this is, let's say you're in a conversation with a lead and they say, you say, hey, I'd like to book you in. What's a good time? They say, oh yeah, such and such is a good time. And in this situation, you're almost always using an outside booking product, but you still want to make sure they get appointment reminders. So what you would do is over here on the right, it says active campaigns. You can click this add button. You can choose the campaign. So in this case, we're going to go back to the appointment reminder campaign, but you see this event start date. This will be the appointment start date. So let's say they booked for, let's say next week, like on Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We go ahead and hit go. And now when we hit add, you'll see this, they'll get added to that campaign. And now that they're actually added to that campaign, they're added at that 2 o'clock hour. So now when it comes to the appointment reminder campaign, it's going to key off of that date and time that we just put in. So again, if you're using the inbuilt appointment reminder software, it just flows in. If you're not, this is the workaround. This is how you do it. And so at this point, you've created an appointment reminder campaign and you've set it up and you know how to get people into it. Oh, actually, and one last piece I forgot to mention, let's say you're using an outside product and you don't want to do any of this manual work at all, if you go into Zapier, what you can see inside Zapier is we actually allow you to pass in the date and time into the Zap. So let's log into Zapier real quick while I have you and take a look at that. So if you go into your Zaps and you just find one of the high-level Zaps, you can, and we'll just grab one here just for an example, you can actually see how you can add the date and time into the actual into the actual Zap. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add a lead to a campaign just like you normally would. And I'm not going to go over all the setup here. We just assume you normally know how to set this up. If not, there's a Zapier video. But just notice down here, there's an event time. So if the actual application you're mapping in from, let's say, has some kind of event time, you can actually zap it into the campaign. So this could be any kind of third-party booking software that integrates with Zapier. So then you can add it to the appointment reminder campaign even without having to do any manual work at all. So actually, at this point, we've covered 3 ways. So you can do the inbuilt appointment booking software, you can do the manual add to campaign with the event date workaround, or you can use the Zap to do it. So hopefully with those 3 options, you've got a good one that's going to work for you. And as always, if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks so much. Bye.